You need 327 centimeters of thread for your office prank. How many inches is this? Express your answer round to the nearest tenth of an inch. Now, you might be thinking this is a little bit more difficult because you have two different conversions to go from centimeters to inches. So I'm going to show you both ways, and while the answers are similar, right, they are just a little bit different. So, no matter which way you choose to go, you always start with what's given. So we're going to start with 327 centimeters. Make it a fraction because when we're dealing with dimensional analysis and different conversions, we want to be able to compare numerator to denominator in order for things to cancel out. So my first thing, when I look at my conversion sheet, I notice that there are 0.394 inches in 1 centimeter. And this is usually what I would use personally because putting a 1 in the denominator, right, my centimeters are going to cancel out, but if you'll notice I just have 1s on the bottom. That means I don't have to divide by anything. Because if I divide by 1, it doesn't change my answer. So I like, anytime I can put a 1 in the bottom, I like it because I can just multiply. And for some reason, multiplying just seems easier to me, even though you hit a button on your calculator, right? So I have 128.838 as my answer, but, and that's in inches. Remember, we are going to the nearest tenth of an inch. So here's the tenth. I go one place past. 3 tells me to round down, so my final answer is 128.8 inches. Okay, so that's the first way to do it using this particular conversion. All right, let's do that. We'll do the same problem, starting with 327 centimeters, but now let's use the other conversion. Now, the thing is, you're still going to have centimeters on the bottom and inches on the top. That doesn't change because we have to have our centimeters canceling out in the process. But you can see that we have 1 inch is 2.54 centimeters. These are both approximations. You can see on your conversion sheet that there's kind of squiggly lines. They're not exactly equal signs because these are approximations. Okay, so that allows our centimeters to go away. And so now, because the 254 is in the bottom, we have to divide. So you're actually going to take your 327 and divide by 2.54, which will give us an answer of 128.7 inches. Now, you might say that's not that big of a difference, and you're right, it's not. 0.8, versus 0.7, it's not a huge difference, but it's enough that, if you're talking to somebody about the problem and you got different answers, that might be it. It might just simply be you used a different conversion. So make sure if you're working with a group on these problems and you have a conflict with an answer, go back and double check what conversions you used. You might both be correct, just using different conversions.